What's that? Breaking news? I like the sound of that. Let's do it. This just in, guys, we're going to talk about the month in review. Special shout outs to the Virgos as well as the Libras that have been carrying us through. Here's what's going to be covered in this video. Reflections on HPL 2020, also known as HPL Live 2020. If you're a health and wellness professional trying to figure out how to elevate your practice by getting more clients to serve, that you'd like to serve virtually, you don't want to miss that recap. Second thing that's going to be covered in this video is the completion of the 10 account strategy series for coaches, consultants, and subject matter experts who need to boost their income now in their practice. This is the strategy that's responsible for nearly $500,000 in revenue for one of the businesses that I've ongoingly consulted. If you're stuck trying to figure out a funnel alternative to attract highly qualified prospects in your business, don't miss that recap. The third thing I'm going to be recapping in this video is the Invincible Consultant series, which is also known as the secret formula for becoming income secure in crisis, or crises, depending on how many you got going on. That'll be recapped if you're someone who worries about how you could maintain your quality of life if you lost your job tomorrow. You don't want to, or maybe actually if you already lost it, you don't want to miss that recap. And then last but not least, the launch of the Buihe Madu YouTube channel, a groundbreaking effort to redefine what it means to transform the world by being a conscious content producer and consumer online, is addressed. If you've ever worried about where the world is headed, or if we as a species can avoid a head-on collision into a future of what the don't miss that segment. For my ADD or ADHD folks, or those who just have short attention spans, I highly recommend you use the timestamps below to get to the section you're most curious about. All right, with that, let's jump right in. All right, so let's talk about key lessons from HPL Live 2020 or Healthpreneur Live 2020. So one of my associates who feels more like a friend than an associate these days is Yuri El-Kaim, or Yuri El-Kaim, depending on how you pronounce it, right? I might not even be getting it right. Even though he's now a New York Times best-selling author and one of the most trusted health experts in the world, things certainly weren't always that way for him. He admits that through his health struggles, he has found his superpower, he puts in quotes, and his superpower is being able to simplify the complex world of health and reduce your confusion with clear, actionable, and science-backed advice that cuts through the noise, right? That sounds like somebody I think I'd want to listen to for health and wellness advice. His fair share of health and wellness challenges have led him to becoming so passionate that he's committed to helping 100 million people have optimal health by 2040, and doing it by coaching some of the world's greatest health and wellness experts and practitioners to run extraordinary virtual practices. Now, this same Yuri El-Kaim has been my coach and mentor in the health and wellness coaching world and helped me launch my program called the 24-Hour Blueprint, well, actually specifically the Chill Code Blueprint, the 4-step process that overwhelmed business owners have turned to for getting more done, stressing less, and growing their business, while allowing them to, enjoy life and chill out a little bit more. And so now, without further ado, I want to share that each year, Yuri hosts an event for a collective of health and wellness practitioners in Arizona, right? I participated in my first event of its kind last year, and this year, due to the global pandemic alert, he decided to host the event virtually. And that's what HPL 2020 is about, and what this year's HPL event was about. So HPL 2020 is this year's only online conference for health and wellness professionals held by Yuri, who you've heard me talk about. And it was all about helping you, if you are a health and wellness practitioner, build the virtual practice you need to create the future you want. This year's focus was all about escaping the matrix of how health and wellness experts deliver their care. With the brick and mortar models of health and wellness delivery being minimized to virtual consultations in some cases, Yuri and his Healthpreneur staff, coaching team, and special guests spent 2 days pouring into hundreds who attended to learn how to transcend that old brick and mortar model and master the art of the new model of providing care virtually. But not only that, attendees also learned about creating perfect client pipelines that relieve them of the stress and worry worrying about how they can keep their practices going while attracting their ideal clients to receive their services. Now, to give you an idea of who showed up at this event, here's some of the special guests who were there. Nicholas Kusmich, Facebook marketing master teacher and consultant to some of today's marketing thought leaders and product creators. If you don't know him, Google him. You'll be inspired. Garrett Gunderson, who's the creator of The Wealth Factory and the author of 2 books, Killing Sacred Cows, Overcoming the Financial Myths That Are Destroying Your Prosperity, and he's also the author of the book What Would Billionaires Do? And then the other person who was also participating as a special guest on this event was Todd Herman, who I call the super coach, and also the Wall Street Journal bestselling author of the book The Alter Ego Effect: The Power of Secret Identities to Transform Your Life. We also had the opportunity to be nurtured by some really amazing copywriters. Pauline Longdon was one of them, Nicole Piper, as well as Lori Morgan of Red Hot Copy, who's an award-winning direct response copywriter and speaker who's been in marketing for over 2 decades. That being said, it was an amazing experience, what I call a soul eye-opening reality check in so many ways. And if you are a health and wellness expert that's looking for a community of genuine, passionate, supportive practitioners and coaching to help you see through the darkness of what to do when you can't use your office to take care of people, this is where I highly recommend you invest your time and resources to learn the art of profitable health and wellness virtual practice. Even if you're not a brick and mortar practitioner, this is still incredibly relevant information and training, and I'll leave the resources and resource link below for you. Okay? All right. So now let's talk about the 10 account strategies you need to boost your income now. That series of training videos is complete. Woo-sa! Grateful for that. What's the 10 strategy account series you're talking about, you ask? Well, great question. I'll answer that. It's a case study based strategy I implemented that's responsible for one client's results of a projected $500,000 in revenue by the end of this year, right? And a securing of hundreds of paid clients along the way. So, and it was all set up within a 30-day window of time, right? So their results from applying that 10 account strategy have been so astonishing that I figured that others might benefit and learn from the best practices of that project to support them in creating high revenue programs using their specialized knowledge and subject matter expertise to serve their current and future clients. Now, if you're someone who's currently a coach, consultant, or subject matter expert, or you'd like to step up and become one and explore if this strategy is right for you in producing a rewarding coaching or consulting career of serving hundreds of clients and being able to charge whatever you feel like charging because you know you can deliver the results you promise, you need to make sure, you need to make sure you access that series and complete the exercises that come with that in order to produce or even come close to producing those results that I mentioned, right? Okay, great. So that wraps that up. Now let's jump right into our third recap of the month. Let's talk about the Invincible Consultant series that was kicked off this past month. That Invincible Consultant series is all about the secret formula of being income secure in crisis, right? Now, this series was a multimedia series comprised of some key blog posts, which I'll share in the description section as well, and some videos explaining how it all works. Now, this series was kicked off last month, and it started to address the current and future worries of hardworking blue-collar folks, the old and new economy professionals, contract consultants and 30 million unemployed Americans confronting the stresses of being laid off, having reduced hours in some cases. Well, in those cases, they are still employed, right? Those who have reduced hours and or reduced pay, right? Confronting the stresses that go with that. Taking it a step further, I also shared about why this group of adults needs to leverage their industry knowledge, what I call intellectual capital, and explore the possibility of becoming invincible consultants by showing or gaining mastery of three things, what I call the three S's. The first S is superior subject matter expertise based on their field of knowledge or industry awareness, right? The second S is superior sales skills. In other words, being able to be magnetic and trustworthy as a solution provider to people's acute challenges in business and also in life areas that affect business performance. This also includes convincing curious prospects that you're the one that can help them versus that other guy they've seen here and there, sort of, kind of online somewhere, right? So if you have that ability, that's the second S that you must master. The third S is the S of superior marketing skills, being able to set up or secure marketing campaigns that generate highly qualified leads, okay? If you can't sustainably do these three things for your business, you're screwed. And your business won't last long. Or you'll burn out before your business has a real chance to thrive, okay? So if you fall into the categories I mentioned earlier, like I said, you're a blue-collar worker, a specialized knowledge professional, contract consultant, or in some cases you're a coach as well, and or you're part of the 30 million Americans confronting the stresses of being laid off, having reduced hours or reduced pay, or you just flat out worry about what would happen to your quality of life if you were to lose your job, make sure you enroll in the next Invincible Consultant training course, right? I'll also provide that link and make that available for you, all right? Okay. Last but not least, let's jump right into this. Let's talk about the evolution revolution, known as the relaunching of the Buihe Madu YouTube channel. Finally, it's here. I relaunched my YouTube channel in honor of surrendering to the idea that motion pictures in the form of video content serves as super stimulants. Now, what I mean by super stimulants, I mean they are super stimulants to the consciousness of human beings. In some posts, videos, and blog content, I shared about how 2 billion monthly active users are on YouTube and consume 1 billion hours of video per day. And there are 31 million YouTube account holders. Now, with the Earth's population being 7.8 billion, I estimated that 25% of the world is influenced by this super stimulant video content that really leaves a deeper impression than most of us care to admit. As a result, it influences our conduct and global culture so much that we don't even realize that we're collectively in consciousness creating a world that we're not always super thrilled to be a part of and are being consumed by while we consume in it. One of my big premises behind relaunching the YouTube channel has been this. Our environment, in its various forms, from relationships to politics, to laws, to policies, to economics, to social programs, and our physical surroundings reflect what we believe we are in consciousness and what we believe we deserve as a result of what we believe we are. So, if 25% of the world is super stimulated without realizing it in video form, they're potentially shaping and influencing the world's consciousness. That includes you and I, in ways that we don't even realize. Now, let me say also that 90 to 94% of YouTube content consumers in any given month are between the ages of 18 and 44 years of age. Those are the major consumers of the world's products and services. They're also big influencers on keeping the status quo the status quo. This also means they can also be inspired and influenced to create the evolution revolution of what it means to be human. Imagine what could happen if the content they consumed, that includes you and I, was filled with more life-giving or self-actualizing messaging, more enlightenment, more soul-stirring, provocative experiences, and in narratives that caused more people to pause and reflect and shift their consciousness to higher levels. What kind of environment or world could we create then? What could the world become if more higher conscious-driven content was produced and shared and consumed? These were the questions that I pondered and that stirred me to do my part as one of the 31 million account holders. It inspired me to choose to have a channel to expand awareness of our consciousness and of what humanity could become by an inner revolution and invention versus unconscious resignation. So, if you'd like to join me on that journey as a subscriber or a fellow content creator, I want you to subscribe to the channel now. Head over to youtube.com/Buihe Madu and feel free to join the Facebook group as well, where we will have very intense and delightful conversations about what you'd like to see more of on the channel or in general as far as content, conscious content is concerned. So that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming videos. Thanks a lot, and I will see you guys soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also leave a comment below. All right, guys, take care.